Our sponsors, Erie Arts and Culture and SafeNet, Bradfield and Margot Wolf of the Erie Art Gallery, our jurors, Sharon, Louden, and Hrag, Vartanian, our friends who helped us publicize the show, our friends who volunteered to gallery sit, and you know what an exciting job that is, and of course the artists themselves. They've shared their visions and their voices, and we thank them all. The board of GEAE, which is the Greater Erie Alliance for Equality, who's presenting the show this year, and this is the first LGBTQ art show ever in Erie. So we're hoping to do it every year. But the board of GEAE has remained true to its mission to provide opportunities and programs which are designed to strengthen our voice and improve the quality of life in northwestern Pennsylvania. This exhibit contains only some of those voices. Some shout, some whisper, but the voices are here in northwestern Pennsylvania and beyond. For art is never silent, it speaks to us. We have only to listen. We're very honored today to have two wonderful people that I've been following on YouTube forever.
Oh my God.
I don't know if YouTube offers stock, but they should buy some. Sharon, Louden, and Hrag, Vartanian. Sharon is an artist, she's an educator, she's an advocate for artists, and she's now the new artistic director of the visual arts at Chautauqua Institution, which most of you know. And if you're from Erie, you know that Erieites go to Chautauqua a lot during the season. So we're looking forward to just seeing a lot of new, different kinds of programs up there. She's also the editor of the series of books, Living and Sustaining a Creative Life. Okay, and I suggest that I'm sure the Chautauqua bookstore has them in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're definitely worth taking a look at. They do. Okay. And Hrag is a critic, but a good critic.
Oh my God, that's
He's also an artist, and he's the editor-in-chief and co-founder of the enormously successful and important online arts magazine, Hyperallergic. Okay. And he's going to be, and if you don't know, he's going to be at Chautauqua for the next 5 weeks, teaching up there as well. So first I'm going to turn it over to them. They're going to distribute the 3 juror awards, and then talk a bit about whatever they're going to talk about.
I don't know.
Perfect. The exhibit, yes. Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you
So I'm so honored this is the first LGBTQ art exhibit here. This is so important. And I think one of the reasons when Sharon and I were talking about doing this, one of the things that we really believe in is these sort of community activities. Because really, this is where a lot of the new ideas and things come from. And so these kinds of activities are really, really, really important to us. So we've chosen 3 winners, or what do we call them?
I don't know. Three artists.
3 notable artists.
Notable
How do we call
artists,
that?
that's
So that
good.
we don't go into the hierarchy
Right,
thing.
that's right. I don't want to do that.
And each of them represent a different kind of work, and which I think is really important to sort of recognize. So we'll start maybe with Paper Buck.
Paper Buck. Where's Paper
Paper
Buck?
Buck.
Oh,
Hello.
Congratulations.
would you be so kind as to share with everybody which of the works is yours?
Yes, this is my
Do you want to talk about it?
Sure, I can talk a little bit. So hello everybody, my name is Paper Buck, and thank you both so much.
We can't hear you.
Oh,
you had to pull this right there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my name is Paper Buck, and I'm currently a master's student at Carnegie Mellon down in Pittsburgh. So we drove up today to come see Erie for the first time. Yeah, this piece over here in the corner is the one that I made, and it sort of it kind of spins off from some projects that I've been doing recently, which kind of look at the sort of progression of the ecological imaginary in the context of a particular forest that I was sort of researching. And when I say that ecological imaginary, I kind of mean how do we conceive of our relationship to the ecology around us. So I'm sort of looking at kind of some of the dissonances between settler colonial history and a moment of like the Hudson River School painters and these sort of transcendentalist paintings, and then sort of collapsing present and historical, and looking at sort of resource extraction upon these landscapes. Yeah, if you want to hear more, there's all sorts of little tangents I could go on. Come
You'll
find
be
me.
here, right?
Thank you so much. I'll be here.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay, so the next one we've highlighted is a work by Karen Bradfield. Is she here? Hi, Karen. Hi. How are you? Can I give you a hug? Congratulations. And would you be so kind as to share which of these pieces are yours, and you can talk about them? Talk about it.
My painting is this one at the end here. And thank you for inviting me. We appreciate it. We appreciate you coming down and giving us some love here. When I was thinking about this, what Paper had just said, that it was the first LGBTQ plus exhibit in the Erie area, I thought, what is that like? What is that about, and what does that mean? That means a lot of support, right? And acceptance. And acceptance, as we know, is so important, because you can take your tolerance and shove it. So this is
Keep going.
Praise children.
So this painting is about, it's called On the Ferry from Boston, which assumes the destination is P-Town, right, Provincetown, which to me, as an older lesbian, is all about acceptance and a freedom that we didn't have a number of years ago. So what this is about, if anybody's taken that ferry or if they haven't, right? So, you come out of Boston and it's all the skyscrapers and all the hoopla from the city, and you're in the North Atlantic, right, on this boat that's kind of big. And you see the houses and the shoreline and the airport's right there, and then you're out basically in the middle of nowhere. You got a lot of nowhere before you get to Provincetown. And then you just see this little sliver of land, right? Just this little sliver, and what that means, and what that could mean to you as you come through there, right? So if you're a gay man, it might mean something else. If you're an old leslie, it might mean something completely different. But it's about all kinds of different things, art and theater and drag and bars and restaurants. And it's just awesome, actually. And it's all sky and all water and this little sliver of land, and that's what I was trying to get to in this piece. It's all just that awesome space.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And as you see, everybody's sort of very different in different kinds of traditions, which I love. And then the last one is Gwen Singer. Gwen, are you here?
Here she is.
Oh, awesome. You might say a few words?
Yeah. So this is my piece, the diptych. There's I guess like a joke or a meme or something about how erotic hand-holding is for queer people, and I was thinking about how that's kind of true, and where desire sort of comes from, and sort of how it builds from platonic friendship. I was thinking about that, and in this particular moment, the empty pan of cinnamon buns seemed to sort of symbolize something, and sort of early morning hiding the face gesture. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
I just think that I also just want to thank everybody who was involved in this project. with Bradford and Michael. Thank you both so much for having us. And Gwen, this is really important, this work, to be able to profile people who haven't had a voice here in the art world, quote unquote. They're all different art worlds. But I think what we were trying to do is have all different types of work represented here and from the pool that we received. And so that's all I have to say. I mean, there was a wide range of pieces to enjoy, and I'm looking forward to having more conversations that come out of these pieces. And I hope that you'll do this again next year and that becomes an annual exhibition. I think that's what you're thinking, right?
Yes.
Which would be great. Do you want to say anything further?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I think it's also for events like this is just so important because, growing up as a little queer kid, it's like the idea of having an exhibit like this in a place like Erie, Pennsylvania, it's sort of, it's such a beautiful kind of thing, and it just shows how far we've come. And the fact that there's so many artists who are like proud to show their work in this context. I mean, I don't think many of you, some of us will remember, and some of us remember better than others, but it was not the case before that people would be putting their work in shows like this. And I think this is just such a great symbol of how far we've come and what we're doing and what's sort of, as a community, we're sort of still accomplishing. And we will say there's a lot of other notable work here. So, I mean, we didn't want to make this as sort of necessarily the best, just artists we thought were sort of on a trajectory that we saw was kind of doing something. And we just wanted to acknowledge them and just have everyone else sort of acknowledge the work they're doing. So thank you so much. I'm so honored to be part of this. And congratulations to everyone.
Yes, congratulations. Thank you.